welcome to another Retro Core, and in today's Retro Core we're going to be taking another look at the PC Engine. Oh yes, the PC Engine has been in the news over the last couple of months, so I thought why not go back and take a look at some more HuCard games that we didn't get a chance to see last time. There are loads of great games on this system, so let's get straight on into it. Oi Blink or Blue Blink is the name of your little donkey friend that you saved in this cute platform adventure game by Hudson Soft. This is the translated version of the ROM we're playing here, however the game is totally playable without knowing Japanese. You'll just have to search for clues a bit more. Each stage is presented as a hub world in which you travel to different towns via the map. The only way to progress from one town to another is by completing each stage within the hub world. This is done by visiting locals, who will pass on some information leading up to the final hidden key to allow you to enter the boss battle. Do this and it's off to the next hub world. Gameplay is the rather standard jump and fire affair, but what was unique is the ability to change characters whenever you feel like by pressing the select button. Each character of your party has their own special ability. For example, the girl can't throw projectiles but can jump higher. One of the sharpsuit guys can fire in multiple directions, and so on. Your main character, however, is Kaoru, the boy in green. As you can see, the graphics in this one are very colourful and have a really charming appeal to them, as does the music. I really like quite a few of the tunes in this game. Give this one a try, I'm sure you'll like it. We all know Bubble Bobble and maybe even Bubble Symphony, but do you know Doko Don? Like the Bubble games, this also comes from Taito and is also an arcade conversion. You take control of one or two dwarfs if you have a friend to join you, although I like to think of them as mini Santas. The idea of the game is quite simple. Use your mallets to stun enemies, pick them up, then throw them at the wall or other enemies to kill them off. Sounds very much like Bubble Bobble then. Well, besides the mallets. I find the game to be quite tough due to the nature of the attack patterns used by the enemies. It's a lot more hectic than other games of this type, plus the short reach of your mallet doesn't help much. Graphically, the game is slightly downgraded from the arcade, which features menu rotation and sprite zoom in effects. All of these are missing from this port, but the core gameplay is still here. If you've had enough of cute dragons, blowing bubbles, but still love that style of game, then check out Doko Don. The PC Engine is well known for having very difficult games, but not everything on the PC Engine requires hardcore gamer skills. Dragon Egg from NCS is accessible to even novice gamers. You take control of a girl who carries a dragon egg in her backpack. Throughout the game you'll visit shops that will allow you to buy upgrades with money collected from defeated enemies. Each upgrade will power up your little dragon into an unstoppable beast, but still as cute as can be. Dragon Egg does feature some tricky platform elements which may give true novice gamers a bit of a hard time, but with a little perseverance they'll get past these stages. Enemies aren't really that challenging, as are the bosses. Many bosses only take a few hits to defeat and their attack patterns are quite simple to understand. In fact, the game is that easy I finished it on my first playthrough without even continuing. If you're new to platforming action games, then you can do a lot worse than Dragon Egg to get you into the mood. So I wanted to cover a horizontal shooter that not a lot of people may know about. Thing is, they mostly suck big time, but I did remember this one. Violent Storm from Alpha System. This one only partly sucks. The story goes that Earth astronomers observed a supernova in deep space. Sometime after the supernova, several ion cells and alien debris fly directly from the destroyed sun and into the solar system towards Earth. After much chaos and continual showers of ion cells, it was ruled out that the disaster was invasion related, resulting in the construction of a fleet of space fighters known as Violent Soldier. Apparently the story in the US version, known as Sinstron, is completely different. There are some interesting ideas in this game. The front of your ship is protected by a giant mechanical banana, which can absorb many types of enemy fire, as well as kill smaller enemies upon contact. The banana can also open up, altering the spread of your main weapon. You will need to collect power-up icons in order to do this though. Holding down the fire button allows you to power up a circle bomb, which takes out nearby enemies. I found this to be rather useless though. Best just to keep that rapid fire blasting away. You can also get barriers that follow you from above and below your ship. These can also absorb enemy fire, but even better, can actually rebound away certain objects as they hurtle towards you. So as you can see, there are some nice ideas in this game. It's just a shame the whole package is rather average. Did you know that Ninja Gaiden was also on the PC Engine? Yeah, it's true, although it's called Ninja Ryo Kenden here, which is the original Japanese title. Now, I will be honest and admit that I completely suck at this game. I mean, I'm really bad at it. As such, I've never played the Famicom original much, but I can tell you that this PC Engine version is more pleasing to the eye than the original, and even the remake on the Super Famicom, or SNES if you prefer. Details such as the fine detail on the second stage pillars, for example, or the desert. They just don't look as good in the original NES or SNES remake. The gameplay is like the original version from what I can tell, and yes, that includes the horrible respawning enemies and the nasty bounce backs every time you are hit. One thing that is interesting about this release are the hidden language options. It's possible to change the story text into English or Chinese by holding down buttons 1 and 2 while pressing select. Looks like Tecmo and Hudson had plans to release this outside of Japan at one point. If you're itching for some punishment and don't own a Famicom or NES, then pick up a copy of Ninja Ryo Kenden on the PC Engine. You'd better have deep pockets though, as this currently fetches around 15,000 yen in Japan, right now in 2020. This is Crossfiber, Cyber Combat Police by Sankindo, who actually made quite a few games for the PC Engine. They weren't a stellar developer by any means, but their games did have a certain charm, such as this one. The idea of the game is typical for the time. The planet Earth is being invaded by an alien race known as Domma. Who's going to save the planet? Why, you of course! You take the role of a pretty normal looking dude who can punch his way through enemies. But our normal looking dude has a secret. Once he has enough power, he can metamorphose into a badass cyber cop. Now he gets a whole arsenal to take out the evil alien scum. Well, he does it if the appropriate icons are collected from passing UFO looking things. For the PC Engine, there's an awful lot of parallax scrolling in some of their stages, which is really cool. The use of colour is also very well done. Lush, vibrant worlds await you in this game. It really does show up the Mega Drive with its use of colour. The music is also pretty good. It has that early 90s anime vibe. Great compositions that I'd listen to outside of the game. Thankfully, there's a hidden sound test that can be accessed via the cheat code. Cross Viva is one tough game at first, but stick with it and you'll find a rewarding experience playing this one. Okay, so 6 games in and we've seen some really good stuff here on the PC Engine. Some stuff that could really give the Mega Drive a run for its money, especially in the colour department. PC Engine really is a very unique and impressive machine for its time. Don't forget, this came out before the Mega Drive, before the Super Nintendo. It was around the same time as the Famicom. And you know, you take a look at a Famicom or NES or Nintendo Entertainment System, whatever you want to call it, and you look at that compared to a PC Engine, and there's no contest. The PC Engine really was something special. Anyway, let's take a look at some more games. Now here's an odd one. Take Space Harrier and mix it with Keisenden from the Master System and we get this. Jinmu Densho. And what a load of crap it is. I do appreciate the idea behind this game. The thought of being able to run around in a 3D environment slashing ninjas and monsters was quite ambitious, but sadly one beyond the scope of our humble PC Engine. The main problems we have here are the controls and speed. You see, our main character is very stiff when jumping. This makes the platforming sections incredibly difficult, but when you couple that with the sheer speed at which things come towards you, it's practically impossible to maneuver in time. Even when taking things slowly, it's a chore. Not to mention trying to judge distance is another big problem. I really wanted to like this one, but I'm afraid it's an idea that just doesn't work. Well, at least on the PC Engine. Maybe if this had came out on the Saturn, things would have been different. "1943 Kari was originally a Capcom developed arcade game, however Naxat were the ones who ported it over to the PC Engine. At first it seems Naxat have given us a fairly good arcade port. The graphics are nice, plus we have the option of high resolution mode, which gives a more vertical screen look to the game, just like its arcade big brother. Get past stage 7 though, and we are treated to original mode. Yes, that's right, Naxat have bolted on 4 extra stages, which are exclusive to this version. These stages not only look better, but also have some kicking music and some of the most frantic gameplay seen on a PC Engine vertical scrolling shooter. I truly believe it's near impossible to complete these stages on skill alone. If shooting and action platformers are not to your liking, then not to worry. The PC Engine has one of the most varied selections of games of its time. Fancy some anime-based adventure action? No problem. The PC Engine has loads based upon mid-80s to early 90s IPs, such as Bubblegum Crash right here. Find the evidence that will lead you right to the source of the crime. Of course, with the typical humour that is found within the anime. Or how about some obscure sports such as Gateball? Yeah, Gateball on your console! You can't get more exciting than that now, can you? Hitting a ball through hoops stuck into the ground has never been so much fun. But you don't want to play Gateball now that summer is coming. What you want to play is some beach volley with Sonic Spike from IGS. Oh yes, whatever your mood is, the PC Engine has the games for you. Straight from the title screen, you can tell Brother Man is going to be a cheap looking game, and it is. The game's art assets look very amateurish indeed, or at least the enemies do. The backgrounds aren't too bad, but certainly aren't anything amazing. The parallax scrolling is nice though. The biggest problem with Brother Man is how it controls. Every time you attack, the action freezes, which just feels weird. Also, having to hold down the attack longer to reach further makes sense, but again, it feels so wrong as your natural instinct is to hammer the attack button as quickly as possible. Then there's the jumping. Man, is it floaty. Jumping is manageable, but it could do with a bit of refinement here and there. I do like the shooting stages though. It breaks up the platforming action and actually controls just fine. Something that made me chuckle was the camp boss who comes on between every stage saying, as I've said, I find that rather camp but funny nonetheless. If you can find Brother Man cheap enough, which I doubt, then pick up a copy. Otherwise, maybe it's best to leave this one on the shelf. So there we have it, a nice look at some more PC Engine HuCard games. Which were your favourite ones? Which games do you like that we did not feature in this show or the previous PC Engine video? Leave your comments down below and maybe we'll come back to the PC Engine in the future and feature those games. But until then guys, keep on gaming and enjoy your games. See ya!